where I want to start is on a story that is not getting any attention, and I do mean no attention. Uh, I think a lot of you are probably familiar with Gary, Indiana. For those who know it kind of on a casual basis, Gary, Indiana's the home or the hometown of Michael Jackson and the Jackson Five. But Gary, Indiana is also a town that has been decimated by, we'll just say, the collapsing empire of capitalism. And evidently, the community has been without power and resources for weeks. This is an example of what happens when you live on the wrong side of town, and how a professional basketball player from Indiana decided to make it his mission to address this problem with mutual aid, which apparently is helping a great deal at this point because the government, of course, is doing nothing. So here we go.
Coming out here though, I mean, it's obvious, it's obvious. Gary is full of, us, diversity. Yeah. Not really diversity, but it's full of black people. Yeah. We the blackest city out here, so they don't want to check on us.
Yeah. They're NIPSCO. Everybody pays them. We don't pay, we get cut off. But when disaster happens, they want to charge us X amount of dollars, but we already paying into this. They got billions, trillions of dollars. We working day to day on paychecks. So yes, they could have did better. They got the money. We don't got the money. They say they supposed to maintenance that yearly. They haven't been out here in a year or two, maybe 3 years. I can't sleep at night because I can't plug my sleep apnea machine up. I can't afford a generator. I'm working on a month salary. So therefore, we need them to either give us generators or get this power up and running. We got a 91-year-old man that lived at the end, almost at the end of the thing. They had to rush him to the hospital. We had an elder lady across the street. She had medical condition. She bedridden. People come out to help her also. So we really need them to work more faster because we don't want to lose no lives if we don't have to.
The irony of driving through a community that has endless amounts of rainfall. Again, who heard about this? Who heard about the major storm? Who heard about the fact that they've been without power? Again, Gary, Indiana. This is a community that is predominantly black. It has a lot of issues with crime, poverty, and as a result, it's a forgotten piece of America. Even though Gary, Indiana is an historically important city. And what's even more interesting is how close Gary, Indiana is to Chicago. It's very close. You would think that with all the money and resources that Chicago has, that perhaps a helping hand might have been possible, but it's not. And as has been pointed out, it's East Palestine, it's Flint, it's all these forgotten communities, Jackson, Mississippi. We've seen this many, many times, and it's not going to stop. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the reason that they are where they are is specifically because they're black, but the biggest indicator is whether or not the area is worth anything economically to the system. Gary, Indiana is a city that is not regarded as of anything of value for, capitalism, if you will. It's just a working class, downtrodden community that's been taking it on the chin for a very long time. And because of that, they're now faced with the reality that all that infrastructure that's been decimated by the storm, it doesn't matter. They could be sitting there for months. Shout out to Breakthrough News for giving them the attention it desperately needs. We will do the same. And we hope that people will spread the word. Use your platform to try to enact the type of positive change that is absolutely necessary. And of course, if you've ever been through rural America, which I have, this is not the only community. This just happens to be one right now that is decimated with their infrastructure being completely torn apart. And this is going on weeks now. If this was your community, would you sit on your hands and just accept it? I doubt it.
Our governor needs to get his butt out here and see the damage. You going in these other neighborhoods, you need to go through the whole city of Gary.
We do see, like, people trying to give out free food and, just give back.
The community definitely is doing something with the giving back. They've been giving away free food, especially at the Y here. They've been giving out free food to us and showers, hot showers. So it's definitely good that we all coming together finally. We just need more coverage for sure. We need to come together as a community and get it together. We won't be struggling as bad as just one person just struggling. If all come together, we'll be good. Something like this, they giving out free water, free cakes, and famous people here and stuff. We need that. We definitely need that.
And they were all alike, just have differences. We need more help.
Yes.
All of us.
Yes.
We're humans at the end of the day. Nobody is better than the other person. So we all go through similar struggles every single day.
You see, that's the problem. They don't regard you as human. They regard you as subhuman. You're just a cog in the machine. And if you do not have any more use, then we just don't deal with you. Fend for yourself. Survive if you can. And if you can't, that's not our problem. And that effectively is their mindset. That is effectively what they're anticipating. They don't ask questions and they don't want to know from nothing. They would rather you just disappear. And as sad as that is, sad as that reality has become, let's remember that there are good people out there that are trying to make this a better situation than it currently is.
Gary, Indiana has been without power for the last 9 days and nobody was talking about it, and I thought it was crazy, so I made a video and got willingly people talking about it. With that being said, we got an announcement. We are teaming up with not only the Salvation Army, but the city of Gary, Indiana to throw an event Monday. The exact location and time will be shared on my story when we get close. But for now, I can tell y'all what we're gonna have at the event. So my family and Salvation Army will both be bringing trucks full of supplies. And it's not only just my family and the Salvation Army. Tyrese Haliburton found out what we was doing and he matching our contribution. God is amazing. So we're gonna have supplies. We're gonna have a DJ that's provided directly by the city of Gary. And I got over 1,000 messages of restaurants and food trucks and people who sell food that want to get involved. So
this is often the argument against any type of government, because what is the point of having a government if they can't help you in an emergency situation like this? Why do you have to rely on individual citizens to basically do the job that the government is supposed to be paid to do? Tyrese Haliburton? Tyrese Haliburton is the star guard on the Indiana Pacers. Kudos to him for stepping up. I hope other people will do the same. This is the type of situation where, this is what FEMA is supposed to be for. And you could say all you want about, well, they cut FEMA. Yeah, but you know what? There's always emergency situations. There's always ways to get resources out there if they need to. The idea that, that nothing is being done, it isn't being done for a reason. It isn't being done because these people don't matter. That's all. As I said, when we had the last bad hurricane in Florida, Sanibel Island's bridge was destroyed. Governor DeSantis had that bridge fixed in 3 days. When they're motivated to do something, because again, Sanibel Island is a major economic driver in the state of Florida, they get to work like that. But a place like Gary, Indiana, that's not an economic driver. So they don't care. And that's pretty much it.
we're going to open it up for everybody who want to contribute. So if you are a food truck or a restaurant that would like to contribute, you can reach out to this email and we can coordinate it. And also, if you want to contribute and send supplies, which again, I had over 1,000 people that say they want to do it, you can send it to this address. And if you want to volunteer with us, you can go to this website. thesalvationarmy.org, and you can sign up to be a volunteer. And I know it's not turning the power on, but it is a place for
All right, one more
people
time.
that say they want to do it. You can.
All right, guys. So there it is. City Life Center, 225 West 5th Avenue, Gary, Indiana. Anybody who's in Detroit, anybody who's in Chicago, anybody who's in Saginaw, trying to think of these, right? Indianapolis, Any of the surrounding areas, if you have the opportunity to get out there, obviously this is an opportunity to do some real on the ground help. And when we talk about mutual aid, this is what we mean. If you cannot rely on the government to help, if the government can't be there to help, then we have to help ourselves. This is a libertarian's wet dream in many ways, but this is what we need to do. So if you can help, this is a great place to start.
To this address. And if you want to volunteer with us, you can go to this website, thesalvationarmy.org, and you can sign up to be a volunteer. And I know it's not turning the power on, but it is a place for community. If you want some supplies or you need some supplies, come get some. If you want some food or you need some food, come get some. If you want to listen to some music or you need that sense of people being around you, come get some. And I'm gonna continue to talk about it because I think this should be a national conversation, and it's insane to me that it's not. So until it is, y'all gonna hear me. God is amazing. I'll see you on Monday. God bless you. Have an amazing day. Y'all be safe. Again, it wouldn't be possible without y'all. It wouldn't be possible without the people who are willing to join the efforts with us. And I'll see y'all.
Well, to Keith Lee, thank you for all the great work that you're doing. Obviously, we are going to highlight this as much as possible. And of course, a big shout out again to Tyrese Haliburton, professional basketball player who is matching every donation that comes in on behalf of this relief effort for Gary, Indiana. I went through a similar situation during Hurricane Sandy when I was still living in New Jersey. We were without power. I mean, obviously, Hurricane Sandy is a whole other animal. I mean, that was as powerful a hurricane as you can imagine, blew out grids. We had to leave. We had to go and stay in Philadelphia. So that wasn't fun. But, you do what you have to do. And of course, this was right around Thanksgiving. So it was a very late hurricane as well. So it was getting cold. And being without power, it's one thing if it happens in the summertime. Imagine how much worse this would be if, we're talking about northern Indiana. Imagine how much worse this would be if this was mid to late in November. 3 months from now could be devastatingly cold. You talk about losing people, this is how it would happen. They're fortunate that this happened now, because at least in the summer heat, you're not going to freeze to death. So anyone who can help, please do.